Good evening this Sunday, ladies and gents. My name is Wu Feng, and welcome to my attempt at fan fiction. This is Total Drama Island, my way. So first off, here is our cast. Now, if you want to take a quick look, our cast is done in the original elimination order to the best of my ability. This is not what you're focusing on right now, but if you want to, you may. And yeah, here we go. First off, we have to introduce the teams for this first half. So this is the Killer Bass team. Pretty much consists of everyone it was last time, like Jeff, Harold, Ezekiel, Tyler, DJ, Bridget, Eva, Courtney, Bridget, Katie, and Sadie. And here's the Screaming Gophers, consisting of Heather, Gwen, Beth, Lashana, Lindsay, Izzy, Justin, Noah, Cody, Owen, Trent. And so let's do our first challenge, the cliff jump, in which the Bass lose. And here are the votes. Jeff votes for Courtney, Harold, Ezekiel, DJ, Tyler, Courtney, DJ votes Ezekiel, Duncan votes for Courtney, and then Eva, Courtney, Bridget, Katie, and Sadie all vote Ezekiel. So, just like last time, Ezekiel is eliminated. And just like last time, it was because he said the sexist comment. However, this is my way, so this won't be the same for much longer. Starting with our important events. Our important events are just going to set in some plot drama, like how Noah forms an alliance with Owen to set up their friendship. Heather notices this alliance and deems Noah as a threat and is now trying to form her own to take down Noah's, which is why she does that. And Justin is trying to manipulate the girls into alliance, but isn't getting anywhere because of Noah and Heather's interference. You may wonder why Heather's not joining Justin. Well, that's very simple. Justin, they'd be butting heads over who's the leader. Challenge number 2, the Awake-a-thon, and unlike last time, the Gophers actually lose this. And here are the votes. Heather, Justin, Gwen, Heather, Beth, Justin, Lashana, Heather, Lindsay and Izzy, Justin, Noah, Justin, Cody, Trent, Owen, Justin, and Trent, Cody. And the first person out of the game is Justin. He was trying to manipulate all the females into an alliance, but Heather and Noah were having none of that and just got him kicked off. Up next is our important events. During the challenge, Noah and Owen go from a business alliance to forming a genuine friendship. Heather's now formed her alliance with Lindsay and Beth. And this is where Duncan and Harold start their rivalry, and where Duncan, Jeff, and DJ start their friendship. Challenge 3, Dodgeball, where unlike last time, the Bass actually lose this one. And here are the votes. Jeff votes for Tyler, while Harold, Tyler, DJ, Duncan, and Eva all vote for Sadie. Courtney votes Tyler. Bridget votes Katie. And then Katie and Sadie vote Tyler. So who's eliminated? Sadie! Reason during the challenge, her, Tyler, and Katie were considered the worst. Did the worst in the challenge. And between the three, she was the most expendable. Important events. Due to Owen liking Izzy has to let Izzy join the alliance, and Noah allowed it, so Izzy is part of their alliance. Duncan and Jeff are now picking on Harold, but DJ thinks Harold is getting a little too much, so is taking up Harold's side, and Heather's alliance starts to fight with Gwen and Lashana, so they're now partnering up with Noah. As you can see, Noah has a lot of allies. Challenge 4, the talent show. The infamous moment happened here in the original. And here are the votes. Heather votes for Noah, while Gwen, Beth, Lashana, Lindsay, and Izzy vote for Cody. Noah, and Cody vote for Heather, and Owen and Trent vote for Cody. So, yeah, Cody's going home. He was not all that helpful since he failed his part of the challenge so hard he single-handedly made his team lose. Important events. Gwen and Trent are now starting to have a friendship. Noah and Heather hate each other and have vowed to be the reason the other gets out of the game. And Owen and Izzy are now officially dating. And finally, Courtney and Duncan start to flirt. Challenge 5, the outdoor camping where the Bass lose this one. And here are the votes. Jeff, Katie, Harold, Duncan, Tyler, and DJ, Katie, Duncan, Harold, Eva, Courtney, Bridget, Katie, and Katie. Eva eliminated is Katie. She's like the original episode, she still got lost from the other team, and she was also complaining about Sadie being gone, and her team was just tired of it. Important events. Gwen and Tron are now as closer as friend. Harold starts to fight back at Duncan by messing with Courtney, so Courtney joins Duncan where he pranks Harold, and Jeff and Bridget are starting to become a thing. Challenge 6, Facing Your Fears, also known as Phobia Factor. The loser is the Gophers, and here are the votes. Heather, Noah, Gwen, Beth Noah, LaShawna, Beth, Lindsay, Noah, Izzy, Noah, Owen, and Trent, Beth. So the loser and who is eliminated is Beth. She hadn't done great with the challenge, and additionally was also an easy way to deliver a low blow to Heather's alliance. Important events. Now that Heather lost Beth, her and Lindsay are trying to manipulate Trent into their alliance. Noah's using this and decides to use Gwen to manipulate Trent into his. Finally, Courtney, Duncan, and Jeff form their own alliance to take down Harold. Heather and Lindsay start to become friends, and to top it all off, Tyler and Eva begin a rivalry. Challenge number 7, the traveling to Boney Island. I forget the name of the episode, but the Bats lose this one. And here are the votes. Jeff, Harold, Duncan, Tyler, Eva, DJ, Duncan, Harold, Eva votes for Tyler, and then Courtney and Bridget vote Harold. So Harold is eliminated. The alliance of Jeff, Duncan, and Courtney had used their resources on top of his bad performance to get him booted from the island. Important events. Courtney, Jeff, and Duncan decide to add Bridget to their alliance, and they decide that DJ will be their next target due to him helping Harold on multiple occasions, and Heather finally convinces Trent to join her and Lindsay, but as this is all happening, Gwen and Trent are starting to become a thing, and Heather and Lindsay bond more. Challenge 8, Paintball. The Bats lose yet again. And here are the votes. Jeff, DJ, Tyler, Eva, DJ, Duncan, DJ, Eva, Tyler, and Courtney and Bridget both vote DJ, so eliminated DJ. He was the main target that his team wanted gone due to his previous affiliation with Harold. Important events. Gwen leaves Noah's alliance, and Gwen decides to deal with Heather if it means she can spend more time with Trent, though Heather is skeptical about all of this, and LaShawna and Heather have a rivalry that gets to an all-time high. And Heather and Lindsay realize that they are each other's best friends. Challenge 9, the 3-course meal. And the Gophers finally lose one. And here are the votes. Heather and Gwen vote Izzy. LaShawna votes Gwen. Lindsay votes Izzy. Izzy votes Gwen. Noah votes Trent. Owen votes Gwen. And Trent votes Izzy. And who is eliminated? It's Izzy. Heather decided to sabotage the challenge to get Izzy out because she knew it would deliver that Noah's alliance would get particularly hurt with her gone and would lose a powerful player. Important events. Gwen and Heather start to form a bond, and now Heather thinks she can keep Gwen loyal, and Owen is left emotional because his love is gone. And Noah is struggling to see him through it, and Courtney decides that Eva is going to be too powerful to continue in the game, and that her alliance will... And then her alliance is trying to band together to get rid of Eva. And Challenge 10 is Boot Camp, where the Gophers lose it. And here are the votes. Heather, Gwen, Noah. LaShawna, Lindsay, Owen. Noah, Owen, Lindsay, and Trent, Owen. And eliminated Lindsay. Noah needed to hurt Heather to get back at her for his alliance, so he targeted Lindsay, and also miscommunication between Heather's alliance led Lindsay and Trent to vote for Owen instead of Noah. So yet again, she's eliminated from voting for the wrong person, but at least she didn't vote for herself. Important events. Gwen and Trent are starting to grow their relationship enough to be considered lovers, and are helping Heather recover from Lindsay. LaShawna, Noah, and Owen have Gwen as a super target for betraying them, and Jeff and Bridget decide to leave the alliance due to Duncan and Courtney being a little too mean for them. Challenge 11 tag team where the Bats lose it. Jeff votes for Courtney, Tyler, Eva, Tyler, Duncan, Eva, Eva, Tyler, Courtney, Eva, and Bridget, Duncan. And Eva's eliminated. Duncan and Courtney made sure that they had to do it to get Eva eliminated. Also, since her and Tyler hated each other so much, it didn't make it hard to at least get that vote. Merge time. And now I'm gonna cringe at this even more than I already am. But before we get to where everyone is, important events. With the merge taking place, Noah and Heather's alliances stick together. Duncan and Courtney decide Jeff and Bridget a priority, and Tyler starts to have nerves set in. So Challenge 11, Disgusting Foods, where Owen is the winner of immunity. And here are the votes. Everyone voted for Tyler. And why did everyone vote for Tyler? Because Tyler was starting to break, being the only one alone, and being this far, he couldn't handle this pressure and told everyone to vote him off. So, he cracked. Important events. Heather convinces Duncan and Courtney to join her alliance under the condition that they get rid of Jeff and Bridget. And Jeff and Bridget join Noah's alliance, and they're convinced to vote for Gwen. Challenge 13, Hide and Seek. Lashana is the winner, just like in the original. Here are the votes. Lashana votes Gwen. Heather votes Bridget. Courtney votes Jeff. Bridget votes Gwen. Gwen votes Bridget. Noah and Owen vote Gwen. Trent votes Bridget. Duncan votes Jeff. And Jeff votes Gwen. Eliminated Gwen. Due to a miscommunication in Heather's alliance, they had not eliminated who they want to, and Noah's alliance was decided a long time ago to boot Gwen. Important events. Duncan and Courtney clarified that they wanted to get rid of Jeff and Bridget. Clarified that they wanted Jeff to go before Bridget, saying that Jeff was the bigger physical threat. But Noah and Owen and Lashana see Heather as a big threat, even though Jeff and Bridget see Duncan as the threat. Challenge 14, the bike race. The winner is Trent. Here are the votes. Lashana votes Heather. Heather and Courtney vote Jeff. Not Jeff. Bridget votes Courtney. Noah and Owen vote Heather. Trent and Duncan vote Jeff. And Jeff votes for Duncan. And the loser is Jeff. Heather's alliance finally got to agree, and they went for Jeff because he was more physically gifted and the bigger of the threats. Important events. Bridget is scared of Duncan and Courtney, and Trent is starting to lose his cool, so Heather's trying to keep him in as long as she can so she has an ally, and Noah, Owen, and Lashana are getting even closer for the time. Challenge 14, Camp Finding. The winner is Noah. Here are the votes. Lashana, Heather, Bridget, Courtney, Heather, Courtney, Bridget, Courtney, Noah, Duncan, Owen, Courtney, and then finally, Trent, Duncan, Bridget. And Bridget's eliminated. She was the second half of the target that Duncan and Courtney wanted gone. And also, she has started to crack under the pressure, making herself an easy target. Duncan and Courtney leave Heather's alliance due to the two biggest threats that they wanted gone, taken out of the picture. So Heather and Trent are after them now. Notices Trent missing Gwen and convinces his alliance that they should get Trent gone, and Duncan and Courtney see Noah as a threat and want him gone. Challenge 15, Say Uncle. Courtney's the winner. Here are the votes. Lashana votes Trent, Heather votes Duncan, Courtney votes Noah, Noah and Owen vote Trent votes Duncan, and Duncan votes Noah. Eliminated Trent. Trent was seen as a weak player, so he was kicked off the show to make room for the strong and to mess with Heather a little bit on Noah's side. Important events. Heather, desperate and heartbroken that she has no more friends left, goes to join Duncan and Courtney. Noah and his alliance are going after Duncan due to him being the biggest physical threat, but Owen wants to go after Courtney due to Courtney being especially mean to him. Challenge 16, the Try-On Triathlon. I arranged it so that way it was vertical, the pairings. So Owen and Noah, Heather and Lashana, Courtney and Duncan, and Heather and Lashana are the winners. And here are the votes. Owen votes for Courtney, Heather votes for Noah, Courtney votes for Noah, Lashana and Noah vote Duncan, and Duncan votes Noah. So our surprise underdog, Noah, is eliminated. He was deemed too much of a threat, and since Owen had voted for Courtney instead of Duncan, there was no hope for him to win a tiebreaker, so he had gotten the boot off of the island. Important events. Owen and Lashana see how desperate Heather is, and they decide to be nice and give her some help. As they've promised to get Duncan and Courtney off the island, which to that she agrees. And Duncan and Courtney see this all go down, so they want Heather off the island ASAP. Challenge 17, the loser's pick. So this is where Lashana went bogusly last time, but here were the votes. Ezekiel picked Courtney. Justin picked Duncan. Sadie picked Courtney. Cody picked Duncan. Katie picked Courtney. Beth, Harold, DJ, and Izzy picked Duncan. Lindsay and Eva picked Courtney. Tyler picked Duncan. Gwen picked Courtney. And Jeff, Bridget, Trent, and Noah picked Duncan. So, who's eliminated right now? Duncan. Both him and Courtney did not leave a good impression on the people that have lost, but they felt that if they wanted the nice guys to win, they would need to make Duncan go first, since he was the more of a physical threat. And important events. Courtney's now trying to get rid of Heather because she knows that she has a huge target on her back. Heather and Lashana are still not getting along well, and Lashana tries to hit on Owen, but he denies since he's taken. I don't know what I was thinking with that last part. I just needed to fill something out. Challenge 18, the animal hunting. Unlike last time, Owen wins this. Votes. Lashana votes Heather. Heather votes Lashana. Owen votes Courtney. And Courtney votes for Heather. And who's eliminated? Heather. Reason Courtney wanted her to go down, and due to her rivalry with Lashana, she didn't have a clear head when voting, so she was kicked off due to the majority of the votes being for her. Important events. Now Owen and Lashana both agree that Courtney is the biggest threat, and they have to go get after her next, they go to finale together. Meanwhile, Courtney is trying to strategize a way of taking out Lashana since she is more physically threatening between the two. The challenge 19 is the I Triple Dog Dare You performance, in which Lashana loses. Reason, this challenge is solely based off of performance, so if they lost the game, and since Owen and Courtney both had far stronger stomachs than she did, it was a way to say goodbye off the island. Before you say this point is bogus, remember World Tour. And the finale is Owen versus Courtney. And because I'm not like the show, there is one clear, definitive winner. And that winner is Owen. Reason, Owen had far more people helping him out than Courtney did, because remember, she wasn't well liked. So even though she put up a fight, Owen ended up winning the whole thing, just like he did in certain endings of the show. Anyways, thank you for watching this very cringy fanfiction. Will I ever do this again? Probably out of sheer boredom. But until then, I must bid you all a good way of positioning of the sun. Dans vidania.